Hi everyone, it's Nicole. Welcome back to my channel and another paper crafting video tutorial. Today we are going to be creating a couple of cards with the Simon Says Stamp limited edition Home for the Holidays card kit 2024. I love the vintage inspired theme or feel of a lot of the products in the kit. First, I'm going to take you through the kit. You get a marker, some little ephemera pieces, some tags, this great little Tim Holtz ideology, lots of gorgeous pattern papers. These are simple stories. I love them. An ideology sticker book, of course, a stamp set from Simon Says Stamp, envelopes, cardstock, and then exclusive new dies. Look, and stencils. Oh, the rosettes. I love these. I love the ho 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 tag, or ho ho hello, I guess. Another snowman from Simon Says Stamp, which he is incredible. So what we're going to do first is create a snowman themed card. And here is a fun fact about me. I love snowmen. I love snowmen everything. This Swiss dot embossing folder also comes in the kit. The Craft or Desert Storm is what it's called. It's the Nina Desert Storm cardstock. This does come in the kit as well, and I have trimmed it down to 4 1/4 by 5.5 inches, and I've run it through that Swiss dot embossing folder. Now, I think a Swiss dot embossing folder is a staple in your craft stash, so I love that Simon Says Stamp has included it here. It's just a fabulous basic. And then I am taking different pattern papers from the kit, die cutting them with some of the Simple Stories Vintage Holly Jolly 6x8 paper, including that 12 plus 25 equals Christmas. I loved that. That was actually from a paper, or yes, one of those 6x8 papers that had little snippets that you could cut down, but I used the die instead to give it that postage edge look. What I felt like we could do for this card is we could divide it into quadrants, have 2 pattern paper quadrants, or 3, I guess, in this case, 2 with a snowman, 1 with that text on it that came right as it was. And then in that ho ho hello die set, the sentiment was die cut from that ideology glitter paper. Now, you probably noticed me placing that on some of the white cardstock that comes in the kit, because you definitely need to adhere it to something else before die cutting. And then I've die cut using the Snow White Velvet Luxury cardstock in the kit. So it's going to be a combination of green glitter and white velvet. Our snowman, this is the Festive Snowman. He's die cut from the Snow White Luxury cardstock. His top hat is some glossy black cardstock from my stash. And also the eyes, mouth, and buttons are that same black glossy cardstock. The carrot nose is canned pumpkin Lawn Fawn cardstock. I had a scrap in my stash. I really felt like he needed an orange nose, and there was nothing in the kit that would work for it, that I didn't think would work for it. So I went ahead and grabbed that from my stash. But you will notice in both of the cards I am creating in today's video, I really tried to stick to this kit and just pull in a few extras here and there from my stash, like inks or basics. I'm cleaning out the insides of the word hello. They did die cut beautifully. However, it sticks a little bit. Anything with glitter especially, I find sticks. Right on top of that ho above hello, I am going to adhere the Snow White Velvet Luxury cardstock and kind of just make sure it sticks. Full disclosure, I actually end up die cutting the ho ho hello again, or just the ho part of it, the top word, and layering that over the white because I wanted it to be really white and I felt like it needed an extra layer. Now, you can do your festive snowman however you want. And I thought, wouldn't it be cute to have multiple snowmen on our card, same exact snowman, but this time no top hat. You don't have to have a top hat on him. Where on the first snowman that we created, we did a plaid pattern paper. Now we're using that Glitter Ideology Deco cardstock, and we've die cut a glittery green bow, but all the other elements are the same. However, I am changing the position of the eyes and the nose so that it can be looking towards the inside of the card. Each snowman is looking into instead of like off of the edge. I hope that makes sense. And just with a couple of little changes, that's very easy to accomplish. Super, super easy. And I love the texture of this velvet cardstock. It is so good. And it just, again, all of those easy textures. Okay, once I have everything laid out, it is time to attach. We are going to attach each of our Ho Ho Hello postage rectangles with foam adhesive right to our Swiss dot embossed background. That background just provides a very simple background. Yes, most of it is covered up, but we left that fourth quadrant without anything in it so that it will really show up as the background for our sentiment. And I really want to get this straight. I fiddled with this for longer than I would care to admit because I really needed it to be exact. So we're going to finish with our glittery green. So it goes glittery green, the luxury white velvet, and then glittery green again. And you'll notice everything is, I'm trying to get it all to tie together. One of the other things I love is the Tim Holtz Ideology 2024 Christmas sticker book. There are over 400 stickers in this sticker book. So I am picking some favorite sentiment phrases to attach to my sticker book. You'll notice we put Merry Christmas under Ho Ho Hello, and then we're adding the phrases the first snow had fallen, baby it's cold outside, down here near our second snowman, kind of overlapping our 12 plus 25 equals Christmas. And I want those to all be a little offset. And just to make sure those sticker strips don't go anywhere, I did put a little liquid glue underneath them and then put an acrylic block on top to help hold that nice and flat. We are going to finish this card with a scattering of the Simon Says stamp Peppermint Dazzling Positively Dazzling gems. These are red and clear gems, and we're going to use a combination of those scattered throughout our card. Now, I will say, this is the last thing for now. When I made my second card and I added white splatter, I looked at the cards together and thought, this card was missing just a little something and it needed some white splatter, so we will revisit that card here in just a little bit. Okay, now we're going to take some more of the Desert Storm cardstock in the kit, and I think my favorite product in this kit, you guys, which I wouldn't have guessed that until I started making this card. Even though I really, really love rosettes, I thought the Snowman was my favorite, and he's right up there. But these layered rosettes are my favorite. Using brick and artichoke positively saturated ink and white pigment ink, we are going to make multiple rosettes. And the amazing thing about this 4-piece stencil set, it's a layering stencil set, the amazing thing is that you can use the coordinating dies that come in the kit to make different sizes. So there's a big, there's a small, and then there's the center. And you're going to see me use those or use that combination on my cards. I'm just using these small cubes and my ink blending tools to apply that ink, and it looks completely different on craft cardstock than it does on white, and I am here for it. That is that vintagey vibe that I love. Now, my second favorite product, or my second favorite, I shouldn't say product, my second favorite element in this kit is the Snowman, no, I lie, the Santa, vintage Santa imagery from the Simple Stories paper where he's holding a candy cane. And it's this like little I want to say it's a 3x4 card. It's one of the 6x8 sheets that you cut in half and cut in half again. So you can cut it into fourths and use those if you're a Project Life scrapbooker or something like that, or even just use that smaller size on a card front for a very simple but beautiful card. I'm actually going to take that postage frame from the Ho Ho Hello and die cut the Santa as my focal point that layers on top of all of these beautiful rosettes. I loved how this turned out. And I just completely upfront, I didn't know that I was going to love this card as much as I did. Santa was something I actually had die cut prior to doing my snowman card, but I was still kind of, percolating ideas. There you can see our Santa. I was still thinking about it. At that point, I didn't have a defined idea of what I was going to do. And so it all really just kind of came together. And then that buffalo plaid red and black pattern paper is just the perfect accent. This is a really simple card design, but it works. It just works. We're layering the rosettes. We're adding the small and the large rosettes. We're going to do a nice bold stamped and embossed believe, and then finish with a scattering of those Tim Holtz ideology sentiment strips again. And it just is simple and beautiful. I love vintage Santa inspired things. In fact, this style of Santa is one of my absolute favorites. A funny story. For years, we had this old gift box. I'm sure they still make them somewhere. I haven't seen them in a long time, but you can buy the gift boxes that are laid flat and you pop them up and you use them like a clothing size gift box. For years, my mom had this one gift box that had this vintage Santa like little scene on it. I still have it. I should try to find it and show it on social media. I'll try to do that on the day of this release. But I ended up cutting that scene off of the cardboard box and keeping it because it was my favorite box growing up, and I still have it, which is hilarious. But my mom used it obviously for gift giving for years and years, so it's not really in the best shape, but I just love this style of Santa. So I am embossing, and yes, have I replaced my ink pad? You guys, I keep forgetting to put it in my shopping cart. I need to do that. I am stamping the word believe on my pattern paper, and to really make it bold and pop, I am going to emboss it with white. And I love that. These are very die cut heavy or ink heavy, pattern paper heavy cards. Very minimal stamping. The first card has no stamping, and this card only has one thing stamped on it, and it's still absolutely amazing. So once we have that embossed, we are going to glue our 4x5¼ panel of buffalo plaid pattern paper to a card base made out of the Desert Storm craft cardstock. I really wanted to kind of keep with that craft theme. And then we're going to start adhering our beautiful layered rosettes with foam adhesive. I want to do one of the large rosettes first, just to the left of the word believe. And then we're going to put a contrast smaller rosette in the center. We're going to layer our little vintage Santa postage on top, but we need to get that other big rosette in place so that we can fill in with our 3 smaller individual rosettes. For each of the large, I did a contrasting color smaller rosette in the center. So basically we have 2 large rosettes and 5 small rosettes. And I'm making sure that at least, I think about 3 of them hang off the edge of my panel just a little bit. That's going to add a lot more interest. And you're going to see, I'm going to move the red and white small rosette actually to the center of the green and white large. And then the red, white, and green are going to be moved a little bit. I didn't want them right next to each other. To me, those were too much close to each other. So let's move that. Okay, I like this a little bit better. you know, moving all the things around, making it work. And you'll notice this little red and white rosette is going over the top of our Santa postage, or it will as soon as I attach the Santa. But he's mostly on top of everything else. This just kind of gives it a beautiful collage look. Oh, I love it. Now, before I add Santa, I don't want white splatter on him. I'm going to take some Spellbinders white splatter. I've watered it down with a little bit of water. I'm using a small paintbrush to add this spatter all over my background, just like so. So good. And then we're going to let that dry. I'm going to flip it over and I'm going to trim away anything hanging off of the edge of this panel. So just snip, make sure we clean up all of those edges beautifully. We're going to replace our Santa right here underneath the Believe, but I really want him to be through the middle of that top left rosette. I don't want much of that middle part, or any, I guess, showing. There we go. And make sure he's straight. And now we're going to replace with some little sticker sentiment strips. May your hearts be joyous. I thought Believe, May your hearts be joyous was a beautiful sentiment. The other two sentiments we're going to add are May your days be merry and bright, and Happy Christmas to all, and to all a good night. I thought that was perfect for a Santa style card. We're also going to add a scattering of the Peppermint Positively Dazzling Gems to the centers of most of the rosettes, just kind of scattering them about. Adds that perfect finishing touch of sparkle. I don't think the card really needs much of anything else but a little bit of additional sparkle like this. I love the multiple sentiment strips. And again, just to make sure that those don't go anywhere, I like to add a little liquid glue. They are stickers, but again, I tend to worry that things might go astray. So I like to make sure they're nice and stuck down. Now, this kit is limited edition exclusive. It comes with so many amazing products. I did try to use the majority of the products in the kit somewhere on these two cards. I didn't quite get to everything, but even with that being said, you still have so much included. So if you are looking for the perfect kit for your holiday card making, crafting, tag making, whatever it might be, I hope you will consider this kit. It's an amazing value and I absolutely love it. So here are my finished cards. Here's the white splatter that I added to the Snowman card, which is the perfect finishing touch. Thank you guys so much for joining me today for these two cards featuring the Simon Says Stamp Home for the Holidays Kit 2024. The supplies I used are listed and linked below the video here on YouTube. Thanks for watching! Thank you so much for joining me today for another paper crafting tutorial. I love being able to share with this incredible community of crafters. I want to give a huge shout out and special thank you to my amazing Patreon members. If you're interested in joining Patreon, please click the link in the description underneath the video here on YouTube. Patreon is a private community where you can support more of what I do. There is exclusive content, information, and behind-the-scenes content. Top-tier members will receive a handmade birthday card during your birthday month, access to D-Stash, and monthly exclusive lives, plus so much more. We would love to have you join our growing community.